Hey guys, I am so hyped. I just got my Fenty order in the mail from Sephora with the new concealers and the new powder, and oh my god, I just cannot wait to get this on my face. I have been very impatiently waiting for this order. I literally placed it at 2 minutes past 9 AM on the Friday that it launched, and it took just over a week to get to me. It took them actually a full 7 days, 5 business days to pack it, but then only took 1 day to get from Sydney to me in the country, which I feel like that kind of made up for the fact it took them so long to pack my order, because typically it takes 2 to 3 days for parcels to get from Sydney to where I am in the bush. So I think they kind of made up for it in that sense, so I'm going to let it slide this time. But I'm just so excited to try these products out, and I think that's why I was being super impatient. I bought a couple of different shades. I got 150 and 180 in the concealers, and then in the powder I got, these are huge freaking powders. I got banana and butter because I just wasn't sure which one would be best. They do have a lighter shade than this called lavender, but like, I didn't know how I felt about a lavender powder on my face, so I got butter and banana. I figured they would be good colors for me. This is the powder. How beautiful is that packaging? You guys all know I'm a bit of a packaging fiend. If cosmetics aren't presented beautifully, I'm typically not interested in them. Like, it doesn't matter how good the actual product inside is. If the packaging is cheap and nasty and doesn't look pretty on my vanity and doesn't like look exciting, I'm not interested. So when I saw this, I was like, bitch, I don't need another powder, but I need this powder because of the packaging. So I hope the powder itself is also good, and it's not just the packaging is really beautiful. But you get this extra little sieve thing in the box, so I'll figure out what it is in a minute once I get over my initial like woo excitement, because I'm just off my tits right now with excitement, not even gonna lie. Well, I wear 190 in the Fenty Pro Filt'r foundation. This is like my most perfect foundation shade. I actually think it's the best matching foundation shade I have in my entire collection. So I got 180 in the concealer because I figured, well, if I have to spot conceal, that'll be good for that. And then I got 150 because it's the same sort of undertone, but it's much lighter. So I figured I could use 150 to help like lighten it up, like highlight my face a little bit more. I feel like my lighting is off. So just quickly before I get into the details, I'm just going to prime my skin. I don't personally like the Fenty primer that they recommend to use with the foundation. I prefer just to use my Too Faced Hangover Primer with it. So I'm going to just quickly prime my skin so I can let that soak in for a minute or two. I think that's better. I had my room light on and I think it was just a little bit too bright for me anyway, for my eyeballs to handle. Hopefully that lighting's okay. Let's just read what they say about it. So with the concealer, they say it's a creamy, long wear, crease-proof liquid concealer that delivers light as air, medium to full coverage in a groundbreaking range of 50 easy-to-shop soft matte shades. So it's a soft matte finish, 50 shades. Holy moly, that's a lot of shades. And it's meant to be crease-proof, medium to full coverage. So that's great. That's exactly what I look for in a concealer. And then as for the powder, okay, so the powder is a super fine, weightless, loose setting powder, which is curated in 8 sheer shades to perfect and extend makeup wear for that filtered, photo-ready finish look. Okay, so it is designed to apparently apply all over your face. That's what I was double checking. So anyway, I'm gonna pop my Fenty foundation on, and as I was saying, I'm in the shade 190. So I just squirt it on a compact like this. Just like 3 pumps. And then I'm just going to use my Sigma F82 round kabuki brush. I really like applying the Fenty foundation with a brush only. I don't like how it applies with a sponge. And I just pat it into my skin, and as you guys can see, the shade 190 matches my fake tan. I've seen lots of people blending out their concealer with brushes too. I can't do that. I don't know why. I just don't like how concealers blend with brushes, period. I prefer to use a sponge, so I'll be using a Sigma 3D HD blender to blend out my concealer. Well, that's not actually too bad of a shade. might actually work. Let's just go like that. And I'll just put a tiny bit of 150 with it. 150 is definitely too light for me, but I think it would be still too dark for me when I'm not fake tanned. I'll just have to experiment with that. So now taking my Sigma 3D HD blender, I'm just going to blend it out. You can definitely tell it's a more matte concealer, like straight away. So usually I would put like my concealer everywhere, then blend it out, but I've heard some people say it's like really matte. So I thought I would just do my eyes first and then I could do the rest of my face as well. It's kind of grabbed a little bit here on this inner corner and I definitely need a little bit more coverage, but that's not unusual for me. Typically when I put on concealer, I usually put on a bit, then blend it out, and then I usually go in a second time on the darkest parts, which are the very inner corner of my eye. I'm just going to take 180 again. I really like the applicator too. It's a doe foot applicator, but it's like flat, if you guys can see. A little bit different to like the traditional like round doe foot applicator. So far so good, I like it. 180 is definitely my shade, my fake tan shade. It builds up really nicely. It's not really creasing or anything yet. I obviously have some little fine lines where it's going to sit in naturally, but everywhere else it's fine. And I think it looks nice and brightening under my eyes. And I think it blended out nicely over the foundation. And I would definitely say it's a medium coverage. I think Too Faced Super Coverage Concealer might be a little bit more fuller coverage and it's not quite as matte. So this definitely reminds me of Shape Tape. Like it's giving me Shape Tape vibes big time with like formulation and everything. So now I'm going to take the shade Butter in the Fenty powder. Oh, I just cannot get over this compact. It is such a huge powder too. How many grams is in this? 28 grams. What's in like my Too Faced ethereal powder? There's only 17 grams in the Too Faced powder and this has 28, so it is a lot of powder. And also I figured out what this extra little sieve thing is. It's so if you're traveling, you can literally pop this on top of your powder so that it won't be all in your lid. So that if you're traveling and the powder turns upside down, you don't have to worry about opening the lid and being a shitload of powder in there. So that's good. Very handy, very thoughtful little addition. So I think I'm going to try set under my eyes 2 ways. I think I'm going to bake on one eye and then just set with a little powder brush on the other. My left eye seems to be darker today. Like I just saw the inner corner of my left eye is so black and my right eye is fine. So I'm going to take my Sigma 3D HD blender and I'm going to dab it straight in the powder and I'm going to bake. Oh, the powder looks so fine. Like it really does look super finely milled. Look at it on the end of that sponge. So fine. Pop that under there and let that bake. And then for my other eye, I'm going to take my Tapered Highlighter E35 brush and I'm just going to dust it in just a little bit of that powder and I'm just going to pat gently under my eye. I don't typically bake under my eyes. This is usually how I would set my powder, or set my concealers. So it'll just be interesting to see what the results are from baking. And I'm just going to dust a little bit of that on my forehead as well. Sometimes I bake my forehead, but it's only if like I'm planning on having my makeup on for a really long time and it's really hot outside. I feel like I look a little bit dry, like just a little bit dry under my eyes. But once the makeup sort of warms up to my skin, it might look a little bit less dry, more hydrated. I'm just going to quickly contour as well and then I'll bake under my contour. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the remainder of that powder in my lid, super finely milled. Like I can't get over how fine that powder is. And I'm just going to bake under my contour and around my chin and stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna dust off that bake from under my eyes. Can you guys tell a difference? Is this eye brighter than this eye? I think it is. I think it might be. Well, you know what? Maybe I might bake the other eye. And I think I might just quickly jump off camera and do my brows while that's all baking and then I'll come back. Okay guys, brows are on, feeling much more put together. And now I'm just gonna dust away this baking. She's not removing very easily. Whoops. Probably shouldn't have let it sit for so long. Can you guys see? I can see it. Okay, let's try the under eyes. I'm just dusting it with my bronzer, my contour brush with like whatever was left over on the brush. Just to balance it back out again because that was looking a little bit scary there for a second. Okay, now let me look up my skin up close. I feel really matte and powdery right now, which obviously makes sense because I've just baked like my entire face. So it'll be interesting to see what my skin looks like in an hour or so. Let me just turn my lighting down so you guys can see. That's what my skin looks like without the bright light. Like I was saying, I feel like you can really see this under eye circle though. Like the darkness of it still heaps. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see on camera if you can. Maybe I'm just really tired today. I thought I had a good sleep, but maybe I didn't. It is nearly 10:30, so I'm gonna go off and do a little bit of eye makeup and go about my day, and I'll check back in with you guys in like an hour and just show you guys how my skin's looking. Because usually I do find my makeup can be quite powdery like within the first hour, but after it warms up with your skin, it tends to settle down nicely. So we shall just see if it does that, and yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. But I just feel like you can really still see that super dark bit on my inner corners just here. I don't know. I'm looking at my little viewfinder, but it's kind of hard to see. You guys will have to tell me what you think. Okay guys, it is 11:11. Ooh, look out. So it's been about half an hour. I've got the rest of my makeup on and everything is settling and melting into my skin really nicely. I always say it's important to give like your face products like an hour to really warm up and heat up with your skin. I think that's sort of when like your makeup is at its peak once it's on your face. So everything looks super flawless. I feel very airbrushed. It'll be interesting to see what I look like on camera with like the studio lights, and as well as, you know, what I'm seeing in person versus what I'm seeing on camera. I still definitely feel like you can see a little bit of that darkness under my eyes. Like I don't feel like the powders are revolutionary. I still think I prefer the Too Faced Ethereal powder as well, but the powder is really nice. Where is it? Here it is. Like the packaging is gorgeous. It's super finely milled. I feel like it set my face nicely. So it'll be cool to see if this helps it, you know, stay less shiny and more intact. I don't know. I'll just have to keep you guys posted about my opinions. Okay guys, so it is nearly 3 o'clock. So I've had this on, well I started putting on my makeup at about 10 o'clock. So what's that, 5 hours? Yeah, 5 hours. So my face looks the same. I feel like it hasn't changed other than around my nose because I've been cleaning and stuff, so I have blown it a little bit. But other than that, I think my face looks the same. I look like a tiny bit shiny. The lights are like blinding me, sorry. I look a tiny bit shiny in the monitor on my forehead, but in person it doesn't look shiny. Like maybe when it catches on a certain angle, but the rest of my face literally looks the same as what it did when I did my last check-in at like 10 past 11. So yeah, it's holding up really well. Oh, my eyes are like dying from this light. Did you guys just notice how red they just went? It's because I'm light sensitive. And I was fine, and then all of a sudden I'm not fine, and it's so fun having eye issues. You have no idea how much I just love how it rules my life. It's great. Let those eye drops settle in a little bit. My lipstick is obviously all rank. Let me just put on some gloss. I love this gloss in Fussy PS, it's so good. And I think my under eyes are looking, they're looking a little bit dry. This under eye is definitely dark, actually. Interesting. I feel like I just need to take off my lashes, to be honest. My eyes just don't want them on my face anymore, so I'm just going to pull them off and just do the rest of the video with no lashes on. That's okay though, right? They're only little lashes, but still. Oh. Even little lashes sometimes are just a little bit irritating. I feel like from afar it looks fine, but then when I look up close in the mirror, I'm just like, oh, see, like that bothers me. Like that, if I'm doing a full face of makeup, I don't want that to happen. I want that covered a little bit more than that. It was all right to start with, but I feel like it's faded. Like, I don't know. Can you guys see it? because apparently like it's meant to be really good with photography and stuff, so I don't know if on camera it's going to look different, but oh no. Hey guys, so it is only not even 4:30. I've just realised, right, I was just editing the footage of me applying the powder, and when I baked for the second time on my left eye, you can visibly see when I wipe away the powder that like somehow I take some of the coverage with it, because when the concealer itself is unset on camera and in person, it looked great. Like it covered my dark under eye circles. It looked lovely. Like it looked really good. It was only when I started like setting my under eyes and baking with that powder under my eyes that I feel like it like dried out my under eyes too much. Maybe that's half the reason why I feel like the under eye circles are peeking through so much, especially on my left eye. So I think the combination of the actual powder with the matte concealer is too much matte for my under eyes to handle. I think my under eyes were just like, can't handle this today. This is not how it's gonna go down. It's just not good for you. It's just not a good look for you. And I feel like my under eyes do look really dry. I'm sorry, I don't want to look directly in the camera because my eyes are really red and people are going to be like, oh my god, are you stoned? Or like talk shit about my eyes and whatever. So anyway, I'm actually going to save this video and upload it in a week's time, because I was originally going to like edit it and upload it straight away, but I want to keep playing with these concealers. I'll be back. Today is Monday the 21st of January. So I'll let you guys know what day it is and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, you get the drill. Let me go wash my face because my eyes freaking hurt. Good morning, guys. I am actually just about to head out the door for work, so I'm just chucking a little bit of makeup on so I can test this concealer again. It's the day after as well, just so you guys know. So I have gone in and used my eye cream like I always do. So I didn't clarify that yesterday. I did use eye cream before I put on that concealer, and this is the eye cream I use from Origins, and I've got my Fenty foundation on again with the same primer and everything, and I'm going to go in with the 180 concealer again, but this time I'm going to use my Huda Beauty complexion sponge, and this isn't very damp at all. I actually washed it last night, so it's had a chance to sort of nearly semi-dry out overnight, and I'm just going to spritz a tiny bit of Fix Plus on it so it's not like super damp, and I'm going to try applying the concealer with that and blend it out with that and setting it with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, so one layer, it's still not enough coverage for me personally. I can still see my dark circles poking through, so I'm just going to put another little bit here on this darkest part of my inner corner. Well, it's not really my inner corner, it's like my tear trough, I don't know. You guys obviously can see where I mean, where I'm putting the concealer. I feel like it's pretty much blending out the same with this sponge as it did with the Sigma 3D HD blender. Okay, I think I've got the coverage there that I want. I think the trick is you really, like, you can overblend, and when you overblend it just shears out the concealer. Maybe that's what it is. Too much blending. Because I feel like even on my nose it's not giving me the coverage I would like. Because I mean, it does blend out easy, so you don't really need to like be blending for ages. I just feel like I'm using a lot of concealer, but I do have to say it doesn't look bad. Like, I don't think it looks cakey under my eyes at the moment, even though I applied like so many layers. So let's take my Light Mineralized Skin Finish by MAC, and I'm going to take an F35 tapered highlight brush. This is how I would usually set my under eyes, and I'm just going to pat straight into that and just pat it under my eyes. I think my under eyes look a hell of a lot better today. They don't look too cakey. Turn it down so you guys can see it a little bit more authentically on camera. With the really bright lights, they tend to really like blur your skin, so it makes you look super airbrushed. So this is what my skin looks like, or my under eyes look like currently. I feel like definitely more coverage, and way less cakey and less dull. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. This is turning into a saga. Hey guys, sorry, it's the same day still. Also, ignore my crazy eyelashes. This is literally how crazy they grow if I don't get a lash lift. They're literally like this, and they just grow every which direction. They're so annoying. It's why I get lash lifts. But I just wanted to say, my overall makeup today looks like my base makeup is 10 times more flawless and less cakey and dry looking than what it looked yesterday. So I used my mineralized skin finish in medium to set the rest of my face, and the foundation just looks a million times better in my opinion. So I'm definitely leaning towards it. I think it's just this powder. I think this concealer, you definitely have to layer it to get that full coverage. Just on one application, it's medium, but if you want to layer it, you certainly can. I do feel like under my eyes, where I've got a little bit of fine lines, it is a tiny bit cakey, but once you put mascara on, or if like you have eyeshadow on or whatever, I feel like you can't really notice it too much. There you go, you guys can see better now. So it kind of sitting in there a little bit, but like I don't think it looks bad. I don't know, what do you guys think? My eyelashes look bad. They're so crazy, it's annoying. Hey guys, so it is the same day, but it's 6:20 at night. I just had to come on here and give you another update because all the concealer like settled in fine lines I didn't even know I bloody had on my eyes today. Didn't do this yesterday, but it settled so badly in all these fine lines. Like I'm used to it settling in here, but not in here. I feel like my under eyes still look pretty bright in the sense that like it covered the dark circles better today with a combination of that powder. But damn, like all these little fine lines under here, like excuse me, I didn't know they existed on my face. And just ignore my nose because I had my sunnies on out in the heat, so like my sunnies always rub off my foundation. But all these little tiny fine lines under here I literally didn't know existed under my eyes. Guys, I am seriously so disappointed that this concealer hasn't worked for me. I think it must just be too drying on my under eyes, which is so weird because I can usually get away with matte concealers. Like I have no dramas with Shape Tape or the KKW Beauty Concealer or Hooters or anything like that. And I feel like they're all a little bit more on the matte side as well, especially Shape Tape. I don't know if like my under eyes are just dehydrated this week and that could be playing a part in it. I'm really not sure. So I'm going to keep trying this out and I need to keep updating you guys, I think, because I don't know how so many people can love it and then I have such a hard time with it because that's typically like never happens. So I'm just a little bit confused. So I'm going to keep trying it. I'll keep you guys posted. At the moment, definitely not loving it. I feel like it makes my under eyes look, you know, crusty as all hell, but yeah. Anyway, let me know if you guys have tried it. What do you think of it? If you're a new face, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to give my video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.